showtime! Woo! 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 Silent and profiling. Woo! It's live and in color. Woo!
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report on the Buffalo Fan Base Network. I'm your host, Tommy, to the highest degree, to the TOP from the 313. And by my side is my main man, my Toucan Sam, the one they call the Apex Man, Mr. Mikey. Happy miserable Monday to you.
Honestly, I wasn't that miserable today.
No, I know. I'm just
I was like, woo, that game is over. That torture is over. Like that was torture from fucking snap one.
It really was. It really was.
But then, it was fine. Like, I don't think we're bad. I liked hearing what Joe Brady had to say today. He took the onus on him. Although I'm not sure I agree with him that he had a good game plan. He said we had a good game plan. It was just a badly executed game plan on my part.
Right. No,
I'm like, there was no emotions or misdirections, and that's not a good game plan.
Right. Yeah, we totally went away from that. I agree. McDermott seemed a little upset too with the play, that trick play. I think he probably gave Joe Brady a good talking to.
Oh God, yeah.
That. And I don't think Joe Brady will be doing that anytime soon. I'm not saying that trick plays are bad. Just choose them in the right, moment of a game. That's all. Like, that was a terrible moment for Joe Brady to do that. It was almost like like he was just trying for I don't know.
It felt very
like
Dorsey-esque.
It's like a desperate, and it was almost like a desperate type of play. Like now we're like not playing well. Let's just try to throw something out there and see if it sticks with this trick play. You know what I mean? Like, the offense isn't really going well. Let's do this. It's like, dude, why don't you go back to what really worked the first 3 weeks? So that trick play there, it really backfired in a bad way. TD Dogs, we will bounce back again next week against Diggs and Texans. Go Bills. Yeah, go Bills. And I think we will. Look, this is come on, we got to be realistic. It's very tough.
We weren't going 17-0.
Exactly. Very tough to go undefeated, especially when you have a lot of injuries on your team. And once again, I don't want to put that why we lost because of injuries, but it's just a realistic the way the NFL works. That's why there's only one team to ever do it, right? To go undefeated. I'm just saying it would take a lot for in this day and age for a team to go undefeated in the NFL. I'm not saying it can't happen again, but it hasn't happened since 1972 for a reason.
Well, let's call it what it is. We had 3 guys injured on defense with backups in, and Ravens smartly went after that weakness.
Well, yeah, and so would we. If we I mean,
we didn't, because they were banged up on the offensive line, and we just kept sending 4.
Well, that's where I almost got to.
Yes. We didn't try to exploit their weakness at all.
Yeah, we do the opposite in games. We don't attack. And by the way, this is a McDermott thing, guys. I hope you guys are like finally understanding why me and Mikey get so frustrated when it comes to Sean McDermott being the head coach of this team. Mind you, I like him. I think he's done a great job. But going back since he's been here, there's been plenty of games where we've gone into where we should have won, and a team has banged up offensive line, or they're bad at run defense, and we choose to pass like crazy, or the conditions in Buffalo are so bad that you should be running the ball, and we choose to pass, or a team is terrible at their like we just do the opposite of everything. I don't understand it, and that's a McDermott thing. For me, that's like not being prepared. And it seemed like Josh Allen also said, like, from his interview, like they just did not execute. They didn't prepare or something like that. I think he said something like about,
they weren't as prepared as they should have been.
Exactly.
They didn't execute the game plan.
Right, but that's not a good thing, right? To hear that you weren't as prepared. Like, it's a big game against an AFC tough opponent. Why weren't you as prepared as you should be? Like, that is not what I want to hear.
I think
Execution's one.
I
another thing.
don't think he meant like they weren't physically prepared. I think he just they ran into a buzzsaw.
I get it, but he still threw that. Still threw it out there. I'm just saying. I'm not. Of course, they're obviously they. All week you prepare for the team, but I don't know if maybe what too. And I got to thinking maybe the 3-0 start got a little bit in some of the player sets. Just throwing
Very
that.
possible. Very possible.
I know they say that that's not their thing and that they, take it one game at a time. But when you were riding a high, if you notice, you're on TV a lot more, players getting interviewed a lot more, stories about you. I'm sure the players start to, buy into it, right? Like, yeah. And I'm not saying that's the case, Mikey, but it's possible. It's possible they were feeling themselves a little bit too much. Of course. But, at this point, all we could do is, just
lick our wounds.
Right. Yep.
Lick our wounds and get ready.
Figure out what the hell happened there. Spin, what the heck, Mikey, your stinking preseason prediction jinked us. Yes. So really, technically, we can blame Mikey.
That's fine.
Thanks, Mikey, for that. We appreciate it. You're the best.
Yeah.
Spin, Brady said they had a solid game plan, just didn't have the best execution and play calling. I disagree. The game plan
I don't. Yeah, when you're not doing any motions or misdirections, how good is that game plan? Really? Did he have all those in the game plan and just didn't call any of them? Because then that would be bad.
Right. Roy, Tommy with his conspiracy theories, speculations. Listen, that's what it's about. I mean, like, it's not conspiracy. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just throwing
that happened. I think they just got their ass kicked. They showed up. They just showed up and got outplayed. Is what happened.
I get it, but we're human in nature.
It didn't,
Mikey. There's 50. Listen, there's a lot of guys on the roster, right?
53 plus 17. So there's
exactly. You're telling me that 70? All right, but I'm saying on the field, right? You're telling me that a few players weren't feeling themselves after I'm just saying, like, sometimes we're human. That gets ahead, you get a little bit ahead of yourself, and I'm sure some players, maybe not Josh Allen, were feeling them a little bit too much. Is all I'm saying. I'm not saying that's the reason why they lost, but sometimes you do take your next opponent lightly because you're on this high. You're feeling yourselves, and sometimes it catches up to you. There's been boxers and NBA players that admitted to that, right? So it's not like it wouldn't shock me. All I'm saying, right? So, but, Mikey, we got to talking last night about this team and the physicality of this team. It's a problem. It's a problem. I think if we run into a physical team like that again, I don't know if the results are any different. What do you think?
If we played them again?
No. I know you're looking at something else. I'm saying
no.
Another team, forget the Ravens, just in general. Like, let's say we got another team that's physical, right? Like a physical running team, physical team in general.
We're about to go against Houston. They're physical.
Okay. So my point is, do you see this being a problem moving forward, considering we don't really have overpowering defensive line, like big physical linemen? We don't have big linebackers.
No, I don't foresee that being an issue.
No?
I don't think it was a out physical thing. I think it was just a bad game plan, bad execution. You know what I mean? And I don't know any other team that can do what the Ravens do.
I don't know, man. I feel like we've lost in the past that way, and it wasn't the Ravens. I feel like Tennessee did the same thing to us.
It was Derrick Henry, though.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying, and I agree with you. Like, so I'm just saying, I don't think like Lamar or like the Ravens got the special. I just think when you have a playmaker like that, yeah, it makes it really, really difficult if you don't have that defensive line front, that big front to to stop that. Like, and we just I don't know if we do right now. Calibus, we just got outplayed and outcoached. If we make the playoffs and play Ravens, we ain't winning. I wouldn't necessarily say that right now, but I would say this: if we wind up playing the Ravens again in the playoffs, boy, one, let's hope everyone's back, right? Like Milano and
Bernard and
Tehran,
Johnson.
like, right. Let's hope one for that.
That's
we have
basically our entire linebacking
Right.
core that tackles the running back.
right. That
was
we have
out.
a complete team. That's one. Let's hope for that. And two, let's hope for a different game plan. Let's hope for some adjustments if we need to, because there was a lot wrong in that game, right? It wasn't even just going into you. Listen, you can go into a game with a game plan you like, and it just backfires. It's not good, but that's when you make adjustments. Joe Brady is probably the first game I've seen where he didn't make any adjustments. It was the same old through 4 quarters. That you cannot do in the NFL. You got a defensive coordinator on the other side who is making adjustments. You got to do the same. And Baltimore never had to make a defense adjustment because we never made an adjustment ourselves. So they just kept bringing the heat, and we just kept on doing what we were doing through for the first quarter all the way to the final play of the game. And I'm sure that defensive coordinator, Mikey, last night was like, thank you. Like, because there was no adjustments made. I feel like Bobby Babich made some adjustments going into the second half because you could see it in the third quarter. The defense was actually getting to Lamar, getting 3 and outs, giving the offense an opportunity to get us back in the game. And that's really all you want. And it just didn't happen.
Well, it started to happen. They did start making some adjustments, and you saw it on both sides of the ball. And then we called that stupid ass trick play that just killed all momentum we had, and the game went from there. I don't know. It's you chalk it up to one of those nights. It was a snowball. Things just kept going wrong. It started with the offensive line penalties right from the get-go. We'd get behind the sticks, Josh would get us out of it. We'd get behind the sticks, Josh would get us out of it. The holdings and the false starts and stupid stuff like that all night long. And when you are shooting yourselves in the foot over and over, then they run the motion, and we were in zone. Don't tell me motion doesn't work against zone. We adjusted and slid over and slid right out of the gaps.
Yep.
So it was a snowball effect last night. One thing after another.
Absolutely. Roy, I do believe that. And that's a fact that Mike Tyson went into that fight against Buster Douglas knowing that he was going to knock out Buster Douglas. Everyone knows that. Even his corner weren't prepared. They had bags of water for his eye. Nobody saw that coming. Mike Tyson figured it was going to be an easy night and knock this dude out. Like, that's what I'm talking about. So of course, and he got caught. He got caught because he was out partying and and just overlooking his opponent. But trust me when I tell you, Roy, if Mike Tyson actually trained for that fight, took that shit serious like he did when he was younger and all his previous fight, he would have knocked out Buster Douglas, no problem. He would have took Buster Douglas out to the shed.
Buster Douglas lost the next fight he fought.
Got knocked out to Evander Holyfield. Okay, so I'm just throwing that out there. And there's plenty of fighters that did that. Just a heads up, right? Like Lennox Lewis did it multiple times and got knocked out because he was taking his opponent lightly, and then winded up getting a rematch and knocking the guy out and in a 1 round. So just throwing that out there. Yes, there is teams that sometimes overlook or boxers or UFC guys sometimes overlook their opponent. All right, go ahead, Mikey.
One of the questions that came in was, how did Bishop do when he went in? I didn't notice. I was too busy restraining myself from smashing my TV. He played fine. I thought he played as well, if not better, than Rapp was playing.
I thought he did good. I have to watch the film back again for the time he was in there.
I don't know if I can choke watching that down again.
I mean, for when Bishop was in there, I can, just to see him on defense where he was, the plays he made. But watching it live, I felt like he did a good job, especially for being thrown in there late in the game. You know what I mean? So I thought he did well. The question is really too at safety. Like, I thought this was DeMar's worst game of the season, so I'm not going to like totally kill him because it's only one game. I feel like the first 3 weeks has been pretty good.
Oh yeah, he had a bad,
but he had a
bad
terrible game. But I'm not going to kill him because everybody had a bad game, right? Oh, I shouldn't say that. I'm not going to. I'm not going.
Almost everybody had a bad game.
Yeah. I'm not going to like slaughter him on that. But
I thought Dorian played really well outside of the touchdown he gave up in coverage.
What is the timetable, though? Just hypothetically, a hypothetical. Can you see Hamlin if he struggles? Let's say he struggles again. Do you see any type of? Do you see McDermott making a change at any point and bringing in Bishop or Edwards at any point in this season?
Bishop's going to start next week with Rapp. So Bishop will be playing in Rapp's spot. I absolutely see that. I wouldn't be surprised if Hamlin's struggling next week if you don't see Edwards. Yeah.
And I wouldn't hate it. I'm going to be honest with you. Look, I like DeMar. I do. I root for the guy. I think the guy is a great story. He's a good football player. But I don't know if I honestly wouldn't hate the idea of Mike Edwards out there as just that veteran presence who's won a Super Bowl, who's been there, done that. And just have DeMar as depth, and that's okay. Like, that's not a diss to DeMar. And maybe DeMar gets that job back next season as he continues to learn and get his feet wet as a starting safety. But right now, we'll see. I'm not saying bench him, by the way, right now. I'm saying let's see. I'm saying let's monitor him, and I'm sure the coaching staff will and have been to see if he learns from this game and bounces back and plays at a higher level than he did against the Ravens is all I'm saying.
And Spin, you're right. Rapp could pass concussion protocols and before the next game starts. But, man, he was, like, out on the field.
Yeah, he got messed up. But he can. You're right. Everybody's different.
So
that is true.
Definitely could. Yes, he definitely could. But we also know McDermott, if he's not practicing all this week, chances are you're going to see Bishop over Rapp. But he'll be active and may get rotated in. But if you don't practice, you don't play.
I got another guy that's even more concerning, which is Khalil Shakir. That ankle injury, Mikey, I don't know if it's the same one, but remember he got his ankle hurt in camp. Remember when he got hurt and he went out in camp? Now, I don't know if it's the same ankle, but if y'all remember, that was a big deal. Like, everyone's kind of like, uh-oh. And he wound up coming back, a week later? Something like that. Like, he was out a little bit, but nothing crazy. But if it's the same ankle, I'm going to tell you right now, man, those ankle injuries linger. It's not something that, especially for receivers that cut a lot, he's going to have to play through some pain, and I'm sure he will. It just kind of sucks because he's not going to be 100 for a little bit. I mean, look how long it took Gabe Davis, right? And his ankle lasted. It was something that hurt him for a long time. Many
years.
Weeks went on.
You're
right.
The entire time he was here, he was dealing with ankle injuries.
And you are right about that too. So let's hope that's not the case. He was in a walking boot, by the way.
Yeah, they said he woke up and he was sore today. Yeah. They said he was sore today, and he'll probably my guess is tomorrow when they practice. They normally do a walkthrough. He'll probably be did not participate, and then he'll be limited. And then he'll be ready for game time.
Yeah, it's that adrenaline. I couldn't I did a video today. I couldn't think of the word adrenaline because I was like, when he got hurt, he went back out. But sometimes it's adrenaline. Like, you're just going through, you're not really feeling the pain that much. You probably felt a little bit, but the next day is when you really feel it. And that's probably what he felt like today when he woke up in the morning, because ankle injuries are painful, man.
I didn't see the trick play, so I have no idea. And
we're not.
And Mo, you're right. DeMar looked slow. He looked tentative when he was coming up, like he didn't know where he was supposed to fit. Like, there was one play where Henry looked like he was going to go inside, so he went inside. Then Henry let that one guy block 3 guys, and he busted outside for a long run.
Yeah, he looked. I don't know. He paused. I don't know what that was about.
All of them were doing that. Like, nobody was firing downhill. Everybody was like flat-footed in the first half. In the second half, they got a little bit better, but
they did. But man, I gotta say, man, there was a couple plays that he almost ripped it off again. for another long run. To the
I
house.
wouldn't call that a trick play. That was just a lateral backwards.
Yeah, I'm not watching the game, so I don't know. Not watching the game.
You know, and
but
I'm
what's the
not
scores, by the
killing
way?
trick plays in general.
Schwartz
I'm
at
killing about
9-3.
the time that he is deciding to run the trick play. We just got our offense starting to move. You have a chance to get back in the game. Then you decide to run a trick play to a short side of the field. That was it was just a horrible call at the time.
Yeah.
I don't want him to not run trick plays.
Exactly.
I just want
Keep
him
that
to
in your
call
bag.
them at better times.
Exactly. Like pick your time, pick your timing better. That's all. That's all we're saying. Like, you
And
know
tell
what I mean?
your
Like,
guys, and tell your guys if it's
if it's
blown
not
up,
there, yeah,
don't freaking try to complete the play. Just take it. Like,
right.
there's no reason why Samuel couldn't have just taken off and run up the sideline and got a few yards.
When he saw that, but yeah,
yeah,
because he should have known that play was busted from the get, and
when
he should have just said, you know what?
When Dawkins didn't block the end.
Yeah, this is dangerous. He shouldn't even pitched it back. I'll be honest with you right there. I was like, oh, that's not good. Like, it didn't even look, it was just messed up from the get-go. But my thing too, it's not even about pick your moments in the game. It's like, bro, the Ravens were on one against this Bills offense. They were pressuring him all night. Like, what made him think that particular play, like the Ravens were just going to get fooled? Like, they were playing pretty solid defense and getting to Josh all night long, and getting really, and our blocking was piss poor. So what made him think we were going to even block well for that play, which we didn't? So it was poorly executed, poor timing. You should have stuck with at least whatever you were doing up to that point, even though I wasn't happy with it. But at least we did score in the possession before that, even though it was Josh being Josh, Superman Josh, to get it to that point. But we were at the midfield. We were at the 45 when that play happened.
Yeah.
So I mean, golly, it was
was
just
bad
such
timing.
a
It was a piss poor timing to call it.
Yeah.
And Amy, I think no, Sophia was in here last night. Sophia was calling that what happened to Vaughn. Vaughn only played 9 snaps.
Yeah, he wasn't in there.
It's because we never got him to third down.
Yeah. I mean, we had, like I said, though, last night, I will say this, though. We did have some, at least things are going our way with the loss. Like the Jets lost, Miami may lose tonight, the Patriots lost. Like, so not all is like miserable this Monday. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, things could have been a lot worse. Like the Jets could have won, right? And then now we're like, so things kind of went in our favor. Of course, it would have been great to win, have a 2-game lead in the division, but hey, I'll take it. It is what it is. It's football any given Sunday. By the way, you know what I've been hearing today? It's so crazy. And some people commenting on our live feed last night for today. We're saying, oh, look at the Bills 3-0. Who have they beaten? They've beaten nobody. All right, Ravens fans, of course. But it's funny because I was like, okay, so who have you beaten? So if we're garbage, right? Because you're saying, who have we beaten? That means we're a bad team. So technically, the Ravens haven't beaten anyone since we're bad, right?
They beat the Cowboys and us.
And they beat the Cowboys who were 2-2. So, like, it makes no sense, right? Like, so stop. And then you lost to the Raiders. So if that's the case, the Raiders go, hey, we beat the Baltimore. Stop, because let's be real. If we're going to be real here, the Ravens are better than the Raiders. They just had a bad game, and the Raiders won. It happens. Okay.
Yep.
And just like, and I'm not saying we're a better team than the Ravens, but on that Sunday night, the Ravens were a better team. It happens. And that's it. That's all. It's okay. Be humble.
We went 3-1 in the first quarter of the season. If we go 3-1 in every quarter of the season, we'll go 13-4. I'll take that.
I'll take it all day.
That's right in line with being a 1 seed.
Yeah. By the way, rest in peace, Pete Rose and Dikembe Mutombo, both passed away today.
And the actor who played, he was in Beverly Hills Cop, Taggart.
I'm not sure which one. With the detective, one of the cops.
One of the cops, Taggart.
Oh, really? The older guy. Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
That sucks.
He passed away today too.
Man, so rest in peace of those 3 dudes, man. Charlie Hustle, by the way, should be in the Baseball Hall of Fame. I think that's ridiculous. I don't care about your stupid old traditional rules. Change that
Heroes?
garbage. Yeah, he should be in a Hall of Fame. I'm sorry.
I
Like,
think they're gonna.
I'm
I think
not-
they're gonna put him in. I just think they weren't gonna put him in until he passed away.
Yeah, I think fans are eventually going to get on him because they're bro. He's well deserved of that, and that's an
Just
old
like Barry
stupid
Bonds. Barry Bonds is gonna be in
rule. He
there.
absolutely.
You know, all those
It's-
steroid guys.
You
are
think
gonna
it's
be in
their
there at some
fault that
point?
steroids weren't illegal?
I
It's
know.
not their fault. Okay, so stop it. Stop with the madness. They made matter of fact. I know we're going down a different road, but they made baseball fun again at that time.
Mhm.
They gave you a ton of money. Barry Bonds. Who was the other guy that hit all the home runs that I'm not thinking that did the steroids too? Mark McGuire, right? Like, it's like,
Yeah.
dude, give them credit.
McGuire, Canseco.
They brung you a lot of money to your
There's so many that fall. on that.
Sosa. Yeah. Give those dudes their props because they brung you and your owners a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, it was about to die.
Yeah.
Baseball was about to die after the strike, and the steroid era brought back. It made it fun.
yeah,
Tim
absolutely.
Hicks, our season's over. Yeah, right. That's how some people were acting. You know, the season's over after 4 weeks.
Yeah,
we
no.
lost. It's over.
No, like, we know that, guys. It's Bill's Mafia. I mean, most of you guys are smart
Mhm.
enough to understand, especially the guy,
Ashton.
especially people that watch this channel in particular, understand that we've gone through the ups and downs, roller coaster of since we've been doing this podcast of Buffalo Bills regular season games. And what has happened? We've won the division 4 straight times for all the warring and all the.
And we were 6-6 last year at one point.
Yeah, right. So, and me and Mikey, we were talking about this after we went off air last night. The only time I think me and Mikey were actually like getting into that, you know, we're like, shit's over, is the Denver game where we were like, it's over. Like, we can't bounce back from this. And then I think we settled down. Remember that, Mikey? Kind of settled down a little bit. Said, all right, we'll see the next week. And then that's when shit started.
We're
That's
like, we
when
have to
fired
go on
Dorsey.
this five game run to close it out. If
Yeah.
we lost one more, we were done. We had to go 5-0 down the
Yeah,
stretch.
we had to.
And we did.
Yeah, and we did. It was crazy, and it was also a blast to go through that because it just felt great to be a Bills fan at that time because a lot of shit talking going on, and it was awesome. So what have we learned? When it's early in the season, calm down, relax. We know this
Until
team
you're
very well. Right.
Actually mathematically eliminated.
Yeah.
I will never not think this team can find a way.
Exactly. Yeah, at least in the regular season.
Yep.
Postseason's a different
I mean, even the
story.
postseason last year, like we lost because of a missed field goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, potentially. I would have been so curious if we made it in if with our defense would have held up. But we won't know. We won't know.
They had done a
We would never
better
know.
job in the second half of that game to
Yeah.
allow us to come back.
Yeah.
But it's one of those we never know. We never
We
got
will
the
never
chance
know.
because we missed. that
Thanks,
field goal.
Tyler Bass. Thanks, Bass. Appreciate it, bud, who keeps missing field goals.
Right?
Golly, man. So, Mikey, do you want to do the good, bad, and ugly tonight?
Yeah, sure. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's do some good, bad, and ugly because there's a lot of bad and ugly. All right, here we go.
Uh-huh.
The good. The bad. The ugly.
Okay, let's start with the good.
All right, let's
The
do it.
trainers. John Perry.
Yeah, John Perry.
Those were the trainers to keep those guys on the field, and John Perry buzzing down to say that wasn't a catch.
Yeah,
That was the good last night.
that was. I like it.
The bad.
Oh, that's all you got for the good?
That's all I got for the good.
John Perry whistling
John
down.
Perry and the trainers.
Oh,
Were the
God.
good. Can
Oh,
you
the
think of
trainers
any
were
other
good.
good last night?
Let me think. There has to be something,
No.
Mikey. Let me think.
There wasn't.
Our podcast was pretty good.
Our podcast was good. The the mental health session after the game inside of our podcast last night was good.
Yeah, that was good.
That helped
really
my
good.
mental health last night, getting that out and having that conversation and talking through my frustration. But really, that was those were my only goods.
Oh,
The
man,
bads, the drops were bad. You can't do that. The missed tackles were bad.
Mhm.
Can't do that. And then the uglies, because I'm not going to go into all the bads and uglies.
Oof, so much.
The uglies, the coaching staff, the game plans, Bass missing another fucking field goal.
Way off too. It wasn't even close, guys.
You know what? Let me take this back. Good. Our punter.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Martin.
Yeah, he's
Martin
actually
booted
done
his ass
okay
off
this
last
year.
night.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, Martin.
Our punt coverage and Martin was part of the good last night. I don't want to crap on him because he did his job last night.
Yeah, he did. Way to go, Martin.
But yeah, the uglies were absolutely the penalties. The offensive line. The offensive line was ugly last night.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
Terrible.
It was ugly.
No, they got beat up. They look like a damn JV team out there going against the varsity team. They got bullied all night long, man.
And Beth is right here. She says, listen, the Ravens came in hungrier than we did. They were fighting for their season still. They were 1-2. 1-3 is different than 2-2.
Absolutely.
They absolutely had to have that game. And it looked like it. Like they were focused and
fired up,
and it snowballed on it. The drops I call ugly because if Kincaid doesn't drop that first one, we continue that drive. And there's a good chance we score. And then who knows what the game looks like there. Kincaid dropped it. We punted it away. They first play touchdown. Route was on.
They set the tone right away. I mean, for that, and yeah, that's why I said last night. Like everyone goes back to the Henry run as being like, I don't even go to that. I go to the Kincaid drop because we were actually, even though we weren't doing the most pre-snap motions, we were still kind of driving the ball down. It was going okay. We were getting downfield slowly but surely, and we had a short third down that was manageable. And Kincaid was an easy catch, should have made that and totally dropped it. And it just totally and then when they had that run, it was over. Like, I feel like we just totally in our confidence last night, we didn't, we look like defeated from this.
We look like we didn't want to be there.
Didn't want to be there. Yeah. I didn't see any real raw emotion. Like I said, I could be wrong, but I just didn't see it like I saw.
I'd have to go back and
first
look.
3 weeks.
I think I was so mad I wasn't paying attention to what was going on the sidelines and look at that. But just by the way everyone was looking, I'm with Sophia. By the way, Sophia, you were right last night. Vaughn only played 9 plays, so he wasn't out there very much. But last night was the first time I missed Tremaine Edmonds too. First time we played the Ravens since Tremaine's been gone.
You're right. I forgot about that. Yeah, who was our biggest linebacker? And we you have to have replace that. I agree with that, man. That's why I didn't
even think of that.
And I hate to say this, and we said it before. I think we said this in the start of the season. If you could turn back the hands of time, would you have rather kept Edmonds over Milano?
Yes.
I mean, obviously knowing what we know now, but
I understand why they did the other thing.
Yeah,
I understand it.
Yeah,
but with Milano's injury history,
you're right.
Edmonds seems like he was the better signing.
Yes. Yep. But that's the chance. That's the life of a GM. Sometimes you roll the dice on one and hope it works. It doesn't always. Sometimes it works, and you're the best GM ever, and sometimes it doesn't, and you suck, man. So but Psycho Jockey, Mafia Sports Report, always representing. Keep up the good work, Tom, and Mike, and Apex Man.
That's right,
the Apex Man. So I appreciate that, Psycho Jockey, man.
Absolutely. So that was the good, bad, and ugly. When we break it down, I didn't want to go too deep into it because we could have been here all night talking about how ugly that game really was. But let's focus on the good for a second.
Yeah,
Sam Martin. It's been a long time since he's been on the good list.
I know.
It was nice to see.
Yeah, good old Sam.
You know, John Perry is fantastic to see that interaction do really well, and he's done it a couple times this year. You know, I haven't seen McDermott miss on one of those since he took over.
No,
I also feel like the game day thing runs better, and I think Perry's part of the game day operation.
Yeah, and I feel like our penalties for the most part's gone down a little bit too. They probably, they know that, I'm sure he's also telling them, hey, this is what they look for in a game. Don't do this, don't do that. That's great, right? To have in your corner, because sometimes players don't know, like, hey, what are these refs looking for? What can I kind of get away with a little bit? Trust me, I'm telling you, he's telling them, hey, they don't really look for that, or they're kind of easy on this. So he is a great addition, very smart pickup for Brandon, good signing for Brandon Beane to bring on this coaching staff. So I'm with you. And Spin, what if Milano is healthy for the next 5 seasons?
Then that's great.
That's but I don't think that's going to happen. He hasn't proven he can stay healthy.
He's been healthy full season one time.
One time, yeah. So the chances are slim for that. But I just want, give me another year. Can you give me next year? We need something in return for that extension that we gave him, that contract. We have to get a return back. I was talking about that today, Mikey, by the way. All my videos I did about the money that's been spent here. And a lot of these guys, the return is starting to look bad. Matt Milano, Stephon Diggs. I mean, listen, the reason why I say Stephon Diggs is because we lost money. We had to cut him because he was unhappy, and not because of his production, but because of his attitude and not wanting to be here. And then you got Von Miller. Now, Von Miller, of course, we restructured, and he's starting to maybe come around now. You got Dawson Knox, got Tyler Bass. I mean, I'm sure there's more. I'm just going down some lists that guys, Trey White. Right, we paid him, and then he got hurt right after. It's just, and I know injuries sometimes you can't foresee the future. I get that, but it's just, man, it's really killing us because we could spend the money elsewhere, and we're choosing sometimes
money that we've wasted. We go on that defensive line.
Oh,
we've wasted so much money on that defensive line.
It's really the defense.
Yeah,
Mike, you think about it. It's really
that's where we put all of our money is on the defense.
Yeah,
we don't put outside of Josh and now our 2 tackles. No one else has been really paid.
Yeah, you are right. On the offensive side of things, Dawson Knox got paid, which was a mistake. Let's be real, guys. I think that's backfiring big time. Deion Dawkins, cool. I'm good with that. You always got to pay your offensive lineman. Spencer Brown, cool. I'm good with that. I think he'll live up to that. McGovern, fine. You know what I mean? Some, Josh Allen, obviously. But MVS, now, mind you, not a big contract, but
he got guaranteed.
Yeah, not working out. Right, Tyler.
He didn't really get on the field until Mitch came in.
Yeah,
MVS. Bass is not a good one.
Yeah, no, he's not.
Martin got an extension, and that hasn't been great.
Yeah,
and then we can go.
And honestly, I'm gonna throw another name out. I'll throw another name out there. He's done well. I'll throw another name out there that we got this offseason. Now, mind you, I'm going to give him a break because he's suffering through that turf toe. But Curtis Samuel.
Joe Brady talked about him today, saying he needs to get him involved more.
Yeah, because you're paying the guy. He was our really only, I guess, would you call that a big sign? For us, he was our.
He's getting $8 million a year.
Right. So as of today, now I'm not saying this can't change, Mikey and Bills Mafia. He hasn't lived up to the signing, okay? It can change, sure. But I guess where I'm going with this is there was guys we didn't sign because of money, and we wind up signing guys or extending guys that aren't giving it back in return. Yeah. And we're losing money. And it sucks. It really sucks because we could sure use those guys that we passed on rather than the guys that we kept in-house and are totally hurting this team by not being on the field or not producing on the field. It's either one or the other for us right now, right?
Yeah.
It might be they're either not playing or they're playing and they're playing poorly.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, and as Roy says, MVS got 4 void years. It's a $500,000 per year, so it's $2 million total. So it's not huge, but it's still there. We have Samuel, who's not playing very much, getting a bunch of money. We have Knox, who's getting a bunch of money, he's not playing very much.
Right.
That's 2 together are probably making $20 million a year.
Right.
That just aren't playing.
Yeah, they're not even a factor on this offense. Like, dude, I'll be honest with you guys, Mikey. Last night, I forgot Dawson Knox was even on the goddamn team. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even recall seeing him. Like, I honestly forgot we had fucking Dawson Knox. How bad is that? We're paying that guy that kind of money, and all I'm thinking about is Kincaid. And
I mean, he did take a pay cut in his defense,
but still, like. Bro, he's get the guy, figure it out then. You're paying the guy, like, get him involved. I know he could do something better than what he's providing for this offense.
Yeah. Spence, if he was blocking, he wasn't doing a very good job of it because Josh was running for his life all night.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if he's unhappy. I think he's enjoying his money, and I think he's.
Oh no, he restructured so he guaranteed himself to be on this roster for the next 2 years.
Right. Yeah.
So he obviously was happy enough.
Yeah, I don't think he's unhappy. I think he likes the environment. He loves playing with Josh Allen. They're good friends. Like, I don't think that has. Trust me, ain't nobody on. Like, he's getting paid still. He ain't that unhappy, and he's on a team he enjoys, and he's been on this team since we drafted him. So it's not like he's a free agent coming over to this team and he's just like, oh man, they're not getting me involved. Like, he's been here for a long time. So what do you think that is? Why do you think Dawson Knox isn't being involved? Just curious. Like, what do you think it's just him, or do you think it's Joe Brady not trusting in him?
I don't even think it's that. I mean, why isn't Samuel being involved more? Like,
I think Samuel did the toe thing, to be honest with you. I think that has a little something to do with it. Go ahead, Mike.
It's more about we haven't had enough offensive run. We're not running a lot of plays offensively over the first 4 games.
Yeah.
Like, when we do score, we were being set up on the other side of the 50 a ton. You know what I mean? Our defense was leaving the offense in really good positions. We weren't having to go super long drives. We weren't having to go 80-plus yard drives. A lot of them were like 30 or 40 or 50-yard drives at the most. You know what I mean? So I think that has a lot to do with it as well.
What do you think about
running a lot of plays?
What do you think about this comment? Mafia Members Podcast. I didn't even know you had. Hey, thank you for. I don't know if I've ever seen you.
We'll have to check you out.
Yeah, appreciate you hopping on, and we will check out your podcast. By the way, we support all of Bill's Mafia podcast. So we went up against a top run defense in the league and kept running the ball. 29 pass attempts won't cut it. Mikey, what's your response to that?
I don't disagree with that, and that goes back to what Joe Brady was saying today. It was a poorly called game. Yeah. He tried to run to set up the pass, and he should have passed to set up the run.
Right. I'm with you.
Most of his passes were the little 2-yard dinks and dunks, and they were prepared for it. There was no mesh concepts. There was none of the stuff that we had been doing over the last 3 weeks. All that went out the window for this game. Yeah, and I get they ran zone, but a lot of our mesh concepts beat zone.
Yeah. Yep. And by the way, me and Mikey used to use that term a lot when our offensive line was really poor and Dable was here and we had Singletary. We used to say you got to set the pass up. Set the pass up and set up the run, right? Like pass to set up the run. We used to say that a lot because we weren't built that way to run to set up the pass. You got to pass, set up the run. And I thought we did it okay. I'll be honest with you. I thought Dable at times really made that work. And then our run game kind of got going there towards the tail end of when Dable was here. But now it's a little different. I get it. Our offensive line has changed. It's a little bit better in run blocking. But when you're going against a defense like the Ravens, who are one of the better run defenses in the NFL, you got to show Brady. You got to switch your philosophy up a little bit and understand what you're going against. They're, by the way, the worst by far pass defense in the NFL, allowing almost 300 yards a game. Yes, we should have set the pass to set up the run 100% of the game. You should have had a different game plan going into that game than you did for the first week. You should have used motion a lot more. You should have used your playmakers a lot more.
Misdirection.
misdirection. Like
do all that stuff.
we played about as vanilla as you can get,
And poorly
poorly executed when and then we didn't even execute right.
Yeah,
like vanilla, and then we didn't even, and then players were dropping passes. Couldn't even get that right. Like, so this is a lesson. Like I said, I think this is a lesson learned for Joe Brady. I think he'll go back and watch the film. He'll understand that you can't do that against better defenses like that. Live and learn. That's all. And Josh Allen made a good point. Glad we got rid of that, got that ugly game early on, right? Correct our mistakes, and we got a long season ahead of us, right? Glad it's
everybody
early on
has
later.
one. Everyone has one.
Absolutely. So I'm cool with that. I like that comment by Josh Allen, but I do want to see that. I want to see that this weekend against the Houston Texans, that you live like, okay, we got that over with. Now we're going to move forward and we're going to play better. Right. Like, like I want to see that moving forward. I don't want to see another ugly game like that. Cause I don't mind losing, guys. Like, I hate it, but I don't mind if the team fights their asses off and it just came down to the wire and it is what it is. Like, we'll still be a little upset, but we won't be furious and be like, oh, we fight. Like, that shit last night was pathetic.
It was the first time in 3 years that we lost like that.
Yeah, and I think we broke our record that we had. We had like some record that we didn't lose by a certain amount of points in 40-something games or something.
One score. We hadn't lost more than one score in like 3 years or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. And and then there you go.
Then last night happened.
And then last night happened. Right.
Beth, I agree. I do think Knox is one of our better blockers from a tight end perspective. I just think the whole blocking scheme was jacked up from the get-go.
He is, but that's not why you're paying him.
No.
Just throwing that
Jason,
out there.
I'm with you on that, brother. I've seen better tackling. Like, Cam Lewis was flat out bad.
Oh,
he was ugly last night.
Whiffing. We had a stop on third down. They threw a simple screen.
Three times on third down that Cam just missed the tackle.
Yeah, whiffed on it. Pathetic. You cannot do. And I was giving Cam a lot of his credit.
Douglas was missing. Filled in. Yeah, Douglas was missing.
Had a bad game too.
Did you even notice? I didn't even notice Ingram out there
last night. See him
because I don't think we played any dime defense.
Yeah, I could be wrong.
I would
but you're
almost
right.
prefer to see Ingram over Lewis last night.
Yeah, you might be right. I mean, Lewis was
he was bad.
That was bad.
Cost us.
He definitely cost us. Yeah, because you third and longs you should never give up. I'm sorry. Like,
our safeties
give up third and longs.
Struggled, and our corner struggled tackling.
Yeah.
One of the questions is, should we have put Buffalo Joe out there as the third linebacker? You can't do that because he's the green dot. So he's the backup green dot. So that's why we went Moreau, because he's the other outside backer. So I don't think it was a matter of just putting him out there. He hasn't practiced as in the outside. He's the backup Mike right now.
Yeah. Hamlin could start again. He will start again. We're not saying Hamlin should not be a starting safe. He earned that in the offseason, and he actually played well up until this point. I want to see moving forward. I'm sure the coaching staff will monitor him because he had a bad game. He had a bad game. And we have veterans. You know, we have Edwards, who's a veteran that can easily come in and handle that position if needed. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying bench Hamlin. Go ahead, Mikey.
I was going to say, I don't want to say he earned it. He earned it by default. All of our safeties were injured in the preseason, and Hamlin was the one who made it through.
You're right.
So,
I guess you're right. Technically, yes.
Edwards was out the entire time he was with us.
Yeah,
he never got any reps in the spring or in
he was hurt.
Training camp. We lost Bishop, who was running with the ones over Hamlin.
That's true. Yeah,
he got hurt, and then Hamlin came in, and Bishop wasn't ready to go for the start of the season.
Yeah, so he won it kind of by default in a way. But to be fair,
he's played well.
He also he played well, and he also had a good camp. It wasn't like Hamlin was having this terrible camp to begin with. So but I agree with you there too, though. More than likely, Edwards would have probably got the nod if he would have been healthy throughout the camp.
Yep. It's why I think Edwards will at some point get the nod. You know what I mean? Or they'll move Bishop. I think one of them two will end up taking his job.
Yeah, it's a great story. By the way,
Uh-huh.
he is a great story, and yeah, Roy, I might agree with that too. I don't know if I think if he winds up getting pulled right for like Edwards or something, I don't know if he gets the job back unless there's an injury. Like at least
He'll
for
end up
us,
somewhere else next year.
exactly. Yeah, he'll get an opportunity somewhere else. But we'll see what happens. I'm not dogging him now. It's one game that he didn't look good, and there's a lot of guys that didn't look good. And I'm not saying, and we could be going down, and we could say, oh, bench this guy played terrible. Like, so let's just pull back a little bit. Let's see what he does next week.
Yep.
Let's see if he can bounce back from this.
It
Let's
was
see if
one bad
everyone
game.
can bounce back.
It was one bad
Yeah.
game.
One bad game.
And it wasn't just him. It was all of them.
All of them. I do want to go ahead, Mikey. Sorry.
And Dreesen does tackle. That's one thing. I do think, but the next time we play the Ravens, I think we're going to have back Milano and
Correct.
Bernard.
If we play him in the playoffs, yeah.
And Tron.
I agree.
So I feel
And
much
Tron.
better about our
Yeah.
linebacker situation with those three back.
Absolutely, Mikey. And Andreessen, for as much as he's a great story, and I think he has
He's a really
potential.
good tackler with him.
Yeah, but he needs time. He needs time to develop. Okay, that's just, and I think that's fair.
He's a rookie, undrafted free agent.
Exactly. I do want to touch on some players. Like, I know we didn't put him in the good, but I'm gonna put him in the good because I did my stock up, stock down today, and I put Keon Coleman up there on a stock up because, guys, man, I know it was disappointing, the drop, but we talked about this last night. He bounced back. He bounced back in a really good way. He made some really good catches that a lot of receivers, I'm telling you, would have dropped or not made the catch or whatever. And he made some tough catches from Josh Allen. And I credit Josh Allen, too, for going back to him. Because Josh Allen, maybe he thought, oh, man, I gave you the opportunity. You fucked up. I'm going to go somewhere. Like, right now, it's not for you, right? Josh Allen still trusted in him. He went back to him. And that tells me a lot right there that Josh Allen still believes in him, even though he had a bad drop. And Keon Coleman turned it around for the rest of the game. And I was proud. I like that. That is great to see. So I got to give credit where credit is due for Keon Coleman bouncing back after that drop. And same with Dalton Kincaid. I thought Dalton Kincaid played well too after that drop. He didn't play perfect, and neither did Keon Coleman, but I felt like those two guys and Khalil Shakir, for me, all got the stock up because Khalil Shakir came back in after injury. He still was he made some big plays in that game. And he's still Josh Allen's go-to, even with a bum ankle. He's still out there hustling his ass off. That scramble drill there, yes, that was a lot on Josh Allen, but that was on Khalil Shakir too, for reading the play, for reading the moment.
And keeping himself open.
Keeping himself moment. So exactly. So we can love the Josh, like, man, Josh Allen, but you also got to love the receiver who understood what was going on, read what Josh Allen was thinking, and kept going in the play. Didn't stop.
Keep yourself alive for Josh to be able to make the play. And going back to what you were talking about with Keon, Josh talked about it last night. He said, listen, he's a young receiver who's going to make mistakes. It's not the first one, and it won't be the last one. But it's how he bounced back that he was proud of. And Josh said that in his comments last night that he was proud of Keon and how he bounced back.
Good.
It was a bad drop. It was. And they said, well, did you talk to him? He's like, listen, if I have to talk to him, there's bigger issues ahead of inside of our room.
Right.
I didn't have to talk to him.
Exactly.
He had his room who all kept him up, and I came back to him and he made the catch.
Yeah. And you know who was most bothered by it? Him.
Yeah.
You don't think it bothered him the most out of everyone? Of course. Not us. That's fans. Not Josh.
Like Josh.
Him. Yeah.
When Josh makes a boneheaded play, you know who bothers the most? Josh.
That's right. Right. Exactly. So I'm sure Keon Coleman hit the jugs machine, right? I'm sure he took that shit personal, and he's going to bounce back from it, and he did in that game.
He made a couple great acrobatic back shoulder
really
catches.
Really good, impressive. So I give him his dues for turning it around in that game, man, making some really good catches. So I just wanted to shout out some of the players that I felt like they didn't just totally give up in that game.
Yeah.
And they bounced back from adversity. So kudos to him. But just overall bad though.
Roy comes in and says, "Okay, Mikey, you think some of the Bills had Henry on their fantasy teams? I had him on mine.
Phew, you got some great points.
I was hoping he didn't do what he did to us last night, but
my god,
I guess if you're looking for silver linings, my fantasy team won this week.
He is such a dog. I won too. I don't even know how I'm winning. By the way, my fantasy team is wrecked with injuries. It's like the Buffalo Bills over here on my fantasy team.
Yeah, I'm missing a bunch of dudes too.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that happens.
Amy,
too many newbies,
yep.
Not having or not hearing and away stadium noise, not our mafia. Let's go. Listen, we also walked into, if it was done to us like that at home, I'd feel a lot different about how it was. We went on the road into a hostile environment, and it got snowballed on us. One thing after another, it just started to snowball. We tried to dig out, and then we called a trick play, and the Avalanche caved back in on us.
Yep, it's like one thing went wrong, another thing went wrong. Like it just was like Mikey said, like an avalanche.
One step forward, two step back.
We've seen this before, by the way. Like it's been a while. Like we said, like we haven't lost like that in a long time. But I do recall games where it just got out of control, and everyone was making mistakes. Everyone, from coaching to players, and this game felt like that from the. I don't know why, Mikey, from the get-go. Like I'm talking about right away. It just for me, it felt off.
Penalties on the offensive line
right away. It felt off, right? And then even like the Connerton, our returner, who I've been like praising and like, dude, I love this guy.
He was muffing the ball.
He was muffing dude. He almost fumbled. He fumbled once. Luckily, got back on it, but it just seemed like everybody was just not there mentally and physically. I don't know what it was, but it snowballed out of control, and that's what happens. And you wind up losing big time when things like that happen. And I think the game just got away from us really quick, and it was tough to rebound from. And we were rebounding, but you can't make a mistake when you're down like that. You can't. You got to play almost perfect football, Mikey, when you're down that much. And we didn't play perfect football.
No,
we made a crucial mistake. The fumble, and that's what turned it everything. That was it.
And you know what the crazy part is?
Yeah.
Of all that, outside of the fumble from Josh, he threw no picks.
No. Yeah. That's the second turnover of the season, too. That's it. 2 fumbles. It was
just a really bad game. That's all it was.
Yeah, that's it.
We were stuck in the mud all game long. Just couldn't find a rhythm at all.
Nothing.
And tip your cap to the Ravens for keeping us that way.
You know what, too? Our screens weren't working either that were working.
A couple of bubble screens worked, but we just went away from them.
I felt like our blocking was not like the receiver blocking has been way better the first 3 weeks. I felt like the Ravens, like physically, even their corners were just on another level than us.
Kicked our ass.
They just kicked our ass. They were
big brother pushing little brother's face in the mud last night.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's all it was. So let me get to these scores real quick before we move on.
And before you move on,
Josh
finally getting dropped easy interceptions by defense. Josh threw one that should have been picked, and he dropped it. Like he had no luck last year with that. Like even with interceptions that shouldn't have been done.
Yeah,
and then they caught him.
You gotta,
Like he got away with one.
He had one. Yeah, it didn't hit that dude right in
chest.
Yeah, he should have had it.
Mitch got away with one with him too in the fourth.
Yeah. And they got away with a fumble that they scored a touchdown on. So it just wasn't our night, guys. It wasn't our night.
But it was finally to see Josh have a little bit of interception luck was nice.
Yeah, that's true. Real quick with these scores on tonight's games. 2, by the way. I hate the 2 Monday night games, by the way, guys. Tennessee is leading the Miami Dolphins 19-6. Crazy. 15 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. So pretty much the whole fourth quarter to go. Seattle and Detroit. Detroit is up 21-14 with 9 and change left in the third quarter. So that it seems like both these games are still to be had. The Dolphins still could turn around. Dolphins do have the ball 3rd and 2, but 6 points so far through all the way to the fourth quarter. Not good. And I good for us. Like continue to lose. Like I don't mind all these AFC East teams losing. Like let's when do you think the last time Like if the Dolphins do lose tonight, when do you think the last time was all 4 AFC East teams lost on a weekend? Football. It's been a while, no?
Yeah.
Like I don't really recall.
I
the
imagine
last time.
I imagine it happened last year at the end of this, like our last loss last year, maybe.
I have to look. That's a great. It's a good question I asked you because I don't know, Mikey. Did you have to look that up because that's kind of crazy. Cause I don't think so. It has to be a long time. If anyone knows, while Mikey's looking this up, anyone in the chat, when is the last time all 4 AFC East teams have lost in a week on a weekend?
The last time we lost last year? It was like week what?
Philadelphia, right?
Yeah, the Philadelphia game.
Yeah, and then we won the 5 in a row.
I'm just trying to think of what week that was. That was like what, week 11?
Comedian Mo says last year, but when last year? Because I don't recall. I really don't recall all 4
Okay.
games.
So that week 11. Let's see. The Patriots lost. Nope, the Dolphins and Jets played each other. The Dolphins won that one.
See, I'm sure there was. I'm not saying it's like it can't happen, but it doesn't happen often.
We lost. The Jets lost.
Asha wants to buy Tommy's home. I don't live in Buffalo. I live in Detroit, and I rent, unfortunately. So you'd have to talk to my homeowner. Hey, Nickel City Mafia, man. What's up, Mike? The last time, here we go. The last time all AFC East teams lost in the same week was week 18 in the 2023 NFL season. January 7th, 2024.
Didn't we win? Week 18 last year, we won.
Yeah, you're right. We won 5 in a row. We beat Miami. That's how we clinched the Mike, you're wrong. We beat Miami. That's
okay, so the Dolphins lost week 9. Last year, the Dolphins lost. We
you're
lost,
definitely wrong.
And the Jets lost. So it was week 9 of last season.
Okay. So week 9 is when all 4 teams lost.
Yep.
Okay.
Jets lost to the Chiefs 21-14. The Dolphins lost to Chiefs 21-14. We lost to the Bengals 24-18. The Chargers beat the Jets 27-6.
Okay.
It was last year, week 9.
Mike says, "Dang AI, never trust that AI."
Right.
But hey, it
looks like
2023.
Roy found it too.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it doesn't happen a lot. Like that's kind of crazy, and we'll see. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe the Dolphins wind up coming back, but it's not looking good for that. I'm telling you, man. It's crazy how one player for the Dolphins, we were talking about this before we came on, can make such a big difference. Like, listen, you got players on that Dolphin team that are electric. You got the number one voted player in the NFL, the best player in Tyreek Hill. You got possibly a top 10 receiver in Waddle. You have A-Chain, who is electric. Why aren't you getting these guys involved? Why aren't you having them figure a way to evolve that offense, throw short passes, jet screens, bubble passes, anything to get these guys, the playmakers, to make plays? You got these and bro, I think McDaniel is doing a terrible job since Tua went down.
Extension too.
Yeah, he does. It's like almost like he's lost his way without Tua. Like in that, you should not. That bro, Mikey,
he wasn't doing great with Tua before Tua got hurt.
No, I get that, but it wasn't this bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like he just doesn't know how to operate an offense after Tua, and it can't be that way. So I just don't get why he's continuing. That their team is suffering so bad with that with those electric players. Like if we lost Allen, I could see like how they're playing. Like we don't have those electric players. No offense to our players. I like our players, but outside of Allen on offense, we don't have this electrifying players like Miami does. Let's be real. We don't have a Tyreek Hill. We don't have a Jalen Waddle. We don't have an A chain who could just run it 100. Like I like our running back James Cook, but he's not A chain. Let's be real. Come on, I swap in a heartbeat, and that's just me, you know. And that's no diss to Cook. I'm just saying I would take A chain over Cook. Comedian Mo Brown, McDaniel has never been a great coach ever since he wanted it colder. Yeah. Well, he's learning quick about the injury game.
Bills don't have the players the Ravens has in the show. You're right. We don't have the names. You have to remember, guys, this is our reset year too. Like, I think we're going to be good. I think we're going to be playoffs. And if we get hot, we can make a run to the Super Bowl. But we reset our cap this year. We're paying Diggs $31 million, and we're writing some other things off, and we went all brand new. Like this wasn't our go all in season.
No.
This is our reset season, and we're good because Josh Allen's really good.
Yeah.
Goff
we have a lot of
touchdown.
Yeah, I heard. We have a lot of guys that are younger that were still.
Did St. Brown throw it?
Yeah, I think so. We have a lot of guys that we have high hopes for. How about that?
Yes.
Like Shakir, Dalton Kincaid, like those guys can potentially, and even Keon Coleman, those guys could potentially in the future be electric, right? Like really be that dude that the rest of the NFL looks and goes, damn, those guys are really good. Right now, I think they respect them, but I don't think anyone fears them. Like, no offense to Shakir, and I love Shakir. No offense to Kincaid right now, and no offense to James Cook and the rest of the offense besides Josh Allen. But I don't know if any defensive coordinator is really fearing this team besides Josh Allen, and I think that's fair. But I like our players. I do. I think they all have potential to be even better. It's just right now, yeah, Mikey's right. We don't have the Derrick Henrys. We don't have, the Tyreek Hills, the Jalen Waddles, the Jamar Chases. The list goes on, and that's okay. We didn't have the money. We're dealing with that. We had one, Stephon Diggs. Y'all see how that worked out, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't always work out when you have a superstar player. Sometimes they go a little AWOL. So we got to find that through the draft. I got to be real with you guys. I don't know if going through free agency, if Bean will even touch that again. It seems
I bet
like
you we draft another receiver next year.
Yeah,
and probably day 2 receiver again next year.
Yeah.
Keep trying to build it up through the draft. I don't think we're paying a wide receiver.
Nickel City,
thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike.
Football's all about momentum shifts. Looking back, we had a few chances to get back into the game. Great show, guys. We'll be okay. Can't win them all. We've lost big in years past and rebounded. It's one game. Yep. One thing we know about this Bills team is they can compartmentalize things, and they won't let this continue to bring them down. It's not going to snowball on us. I think we're going to get back ready to go, and we got a tough opponent this week in Houston.
Yeah, it's another test, and it's that Stephon Diggs is going to want to show out against us,
demanding the ball.
Yeah, and I'm sure Houston's going to want to feed him.
That fits us, though. Like, honestly, the best part of our defense is our secondary.
Right.
So if they're throwing the ball, that's a good thing for us.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. But Diggs also knows his defense. He's practiced against us very well. He knows Benford's tendencies. He knows Russell Douglas' tendencies by now. I'm just throwing that out there. He knows DeMar Hamlin.
He's going to make some catches.
And if you saw the Minnesota game, they fed him. They fed him because they wanted to feed him.
And they fed him again last week, too.
Yeah. So I do feel like you're right. They're going to probably push him the ball a little bit more than usual because they're going against his former team. But that may benefit us. You're right. That may benefit us as well. Plus, the defensive coordinator is going to know probably, hey, they're going to probably force a little bit Diggs' way. But it's for me, it's an important bounce back game for the Buffalo Bills. After that embarrassing loss, but Mike's right from Nickel City. Like this, it's early. It's week 4. We're still 3-1. Like there's no, we're not. This isn't any time to be super concerned about this team as of right now. I still think we have the players on this team to have a winning record, to win the AFC East, to be a playoff team. We just got to get healthy. That's really the most important thing at this point. get our guys back on that field, especially on defense, where we're missing key guys. And we just got to get back on track offensively after that game. That's all. And Joe Brady has to erase what happened, erase that from his mind, and call call a better game. That's all.
Dallas comes in and says, "What do you guys think about our tight end play so far this year?" We touched on it a little bit earlier. I think we could use our tight ends better, but I also think like for 2 of the 3 games that we won, we didn't play the second half. It was basically just run the ball because we were up big. You know what I mean? So we really haven't had to dig into our bag yet with a lot of these things, and it will come. And I have a feeling it's coming this week. So I would like to see him get used a little bit more.
I agree. I totally agree. Like listen, we dog a little bit on Dawson Knox a little bit, but he can be a good player. Like we've seen him make really good plays. Matter of fact, in 2022, he was tied in the NFL with tight ends for 8 touchdowns. So he definitely can make plays. I've seen him be dynamic. Go back a couple years ago against the Chiefs. He made some dynamic catches. He was
playoff run that Josh had was a lot due to Knox. He had like 8 touchdowns that year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we know it's in him. And I just feel like maybe Joe Brady does need to start mixing in the 2 tight ends a little bit more together and making it a little bit more difficult on defenses. Moving forward with the 2 tight ends with maybe 12 personnel. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not saying you have to go 12 personnel all the time, but mix it up a little bit more with Dawson. Get him involved a little bit more because he can be reliable at times when he's not dropping the damn ball. Right? So.
Dolphins still stink. Big Dolphin L. Yeah.
Oh, did they lose? Oh no.
They're losing.
They're getting smoked now.
22 to 6.
Oh, it's so embarrassing.
Oh man, the Dolphins fans are melting down because they thought Tyler Huntley
in Miami.
They thought Tyler Huntley. No, I think it's in Tennessee.
No, it's in Miami.
Is it?
It's in Miami, bro.
Are you sure?
Yeah, 100%. Seattle's in Detroit. Tennessee's in Miami.
It shows them.
No,
the home team.
Miami. It's in Miami. I'm almost sure.
I'm just saying
that
the thing shows them at home.
Normally, when the team's on the right.
Oh, it is Miami's at home. That's right.
Okay.
Miami's at home.
Yeah. So in front of your home.
I was dyslexic and reading it backwards.
By the way, too, what one more thing I want to throw out there before we move on or go off
dyslexic. there. Dyslexic. Leave me alone, Spin. Yeah. It takes me a minute for my brain to catch up to what I see.
These dumbass. One thing I can't stand, Mikey, real quick before we leave. I can't stand when other team fan bases chime in on your game that you lost. Like, so Dolphin fans, Jet fans, and I'm like, bro, are you not watching your team? Like, what are you chiming in for? Stay in your motherfucking lane because you guys have your own fucking problems. And the last time I checked, the Bills were top dog right now in the AFC East and have been top dog. So I don't know why these fan bases like want to chime in and laugh and the Bills, you thought you were so good. Bro, worry about your own team because you guys got some major fucking problems going on.
I heard like I didn't look at a ton of stuff that was going on today, but what I did see, there was so much of the Bills are frauds. I'm like, that's one game and you call them frauds. They lost one game. Relax.
Yeah. And I also want to take a trip down memory lane when the Minnesota Vikings beat us. And I had all those Vikings fans. And what did I tell those guys? I said, we'll talk after the season.
Didn't they lose to the Giants in the playoffs?
And they melted the fuck. Yes. They melted. They barely got in the playoffs, by the way. They played bad football. They got destroyed in the playoffs. And it's like, karma sometimes a bitch, bro. Like, stay in your lane, be humble. That's one thing me and Mikey are. Like, I don't go and talk shit to people. Like, that's not what we do. Yeah. We may be happy in victory, but we're not rubbing it in someone's face. I'm not going on Twitter because, like, tonight, I'm not going to go to Twitter and be like, oh, you Dolphins fans fucking suck. You guys bullshit. Like what would that do for me? Way. Yeah, what would that do for any of us, guys? Like, be better is all I'm saying. Be better. Be happy for your team and stay in your lane.
Listen, Comedian Joe says it best. It's the way we should put a period on this. That trick play sucked.
Yeah. That trick play was dog shit. Terrible, man.
That just sucked.
I didn't even know, bro. When that happened, I'm like, it was like slow motion for me. I'm like, what is going? It developed so slow, and I'm like,
Right.
what is going on
But
here?
that whole game was like I was being tortured and have to watch it.
Oh my!
I told you I wanted to turn it off.
That
I'm like, but we had to talk about it afterwards, so I couldn't turn it off.
Was that not? It felt like the slowest fucking game ever.
Yeah, because we
like,
got dog walked from play one.
Like the time was just going so. I look up and we're like,
For
we're not even in the
team
fourth
ran
quarter yet.
200 yards. That was the slowest game ever.
It was so slow, bro. It was just, man. It was tough. It was really tough to watch.
Dallas, you're right. He it was his lower back. I thought it was arm, and Josh said it wasn't his arm, it was his lower back.
Yeah.
He got crushed by that.
By the way, I want to bring this up, and I don't want to be that guy where it's like, oh, the referees and penalties. I will say they missed a bunch of late hits by the Ravens last night
on Josh when he was sliding.
Yes, that's one. There were
and
some holds. That
you guys were holding on to the guy's jersey.
Yeah. Now, mind you, I think the refs have been okay this year, so I'm not going to and I'm not saying, oh, the refs are the reason why.
No.
I'm just pointing this out that, like, come on. And I will say this, that trick play, if you go back to it, that is a fucking late hit all day on Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, go back, bro. That guy hit Josh Allen.
In the head.
Way like in the head. Bro, we got Matt. I'll give you a great example. Matt Milano, when he hit Tua very lightly, he pushed him. Remember that? Fucking penalty.
We got a 15-yard penalty.
15, bro, he barely shoved him. Ugh.
And dude, that guy crushed Allen.
Way late. Go back and watch.
Mm-hmm.
You know what we got the penalty for? They got the penalty for on Dalton Kincaid getting poked in the eye.
Yeah.
Because I initially thought it was going to be on the late hit on Allen. I'm just throwing that out there.
I mean, Josh was sliding and getting hit, and they didn't throw flags.
Yeah, but that one, I feel like that one was. I get that. I understand that point. I get that too, but it wasn't like they weren't super crazy hits late when he was sliding. I didn't think they were like
they're not supposed to touch him.
No, I get. I'm with you.
And they hit him every time he slid.
I agree, but that hit there though was so obvious and right in front of the ref. And it was way late, bro. I'm not saying it was to change the course of the game.
It actually hurt Josh.
And it hurt him at the same time. So it's like sometimes Josh be acting a little bit to get a call. Like,
no, he got
fucked. That was no acting. Like that dude legit lit him up, and there was no reason for it. The ball was way released, or fumbled by then. Sorry, way fumbled by then. So refs definitely didn't. I don't know if they didn't see it or they just chose to ignore it. But
they ignored it.
Got to be better than that, bro.
Yeah. Cricket comes in and says, listen to Locked On Bills today. It was a complete fail on the D coaching staff and zero reason to think there can be any better. So it's not just one game. I think that the coach staff can be better. I've seen them be better. The whole D was betrayed by their staff, not on Hamlin. Hamlin was out of position and was tentative and picked wrong holes, so some of it was on Hamlin.
Mm-hmm.
I think the game plan sucked and it was bad on the coaching, but the players didn't execute either on the field.
Yeah, I think this was
say what's on that first touchdown run. There's a motion and the backup, can't think of his name right now. Spectre shifted the entire line away from where the hole was, so we were out of position.
Yep.
That wasn't a coaching thing. That was Spectre making a check and pulling everybody out of position.
Yep. And that goes to show you the inexperience of having someone like him in compared to Terrell Bernard.
Yep.
Just throwing that out there.
Yep.
And also, Cricket, I will say this: we don't have too many of these games where we just look that bad. I will say the last game we looked this bad as a team, where you can go, man, you know what? Coaching let us down. Players didn't execute right. Was the Bengals playoff game? we didn't. We were poorly. That game was, and mind you, we had some guys out, but there's no excuse. The offensive line of the Bengals were also pretty much all gone. It was backups, and we just didn't execute. And this was the Bengals game all over. However, me and Mikey are rough on Sean McDermott. We are tough on him. Like we like him as a head coach, but we don't believe in him that he could get the job done in the playoffs because he hasn't proven it yet. Like at least get us to a Super Bowl. Like he's still running into a wall. However, the rest of the coaching staff, I think is a lot better. And I think that guys like Aaron Cromer, guys like Joe Brady, guys like Bobby Babich, our new corners coach. I do believe in those guys. I just think that someone like Joe Brady, I think this is a learning lesson, a lesson to be learned. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't worry. Like now, if we were year 3 in, right, under Joe Brady, he's still making these trick plays on wrong times and offense is flat. Like then I would say, all right, maybe it's time to switch up offense coordinators. But I can't say that yet. It's way too early. And he's shown us through 3 weeks that he can be a good offense coordinator. He just had a bad game. But Sean McDermott, if you're going to worry about any of the coaches on this team, it's our head coach. And because he's year 8 and he is yet to figure out what's going on with that hurdle that he keeps running into when he faces better coaching. And really, it's coaching. Like he gets out coached by the better coaches. He can out coach, the McDaniels of the world, right? The newer, fresher coaches that they don't really, but he has a tough time. I mean, if you go back really too, Mikey, 2021 opening up against Pittsburgh, right? Against Mike Tomlin.
I mean, he got Coach Tomlin last year in the playoffs.
No, I get it. I'm just saying that time, like there's times Andy Reid is his real nemesis, but he's been out coached by top coaches. He has, but I agree with you. He beat Belichick one year, right? Playoffs. Like I'll give him some dues. He has done okay, but he still folds under pressure. I feel like in big moments, sometimes bigger games, he tends to go in a little bit of a shell. So we'll see. This is a new year for him, right? Year 8, we're not making a change. I still like the guy. I still have a little bit of faith in him. But man, we'll see what happens.
Jameson Williams just ripped off a big one. Now there's a flag. I'm with you. The phantom holding on Brown, the refs were pretty bad. Lewis comes in and says, I don't care about loyalty. If a guy's better, then you start him. In the long run, the defense will benefit. Yeah, that's a McDermott thing. He's about loyalty.
That too.
And seniority.
And that's another thing that's probably might be his downfall here too. Bringing back guys because he's their former Bills and he trusts them and they're locker room guys. Yeah. Like, dude, it doesn't always work.
Also
like sometimes
seniority thing with him. If you've been here longer, then he's gonna put you out there.
Right.
And I'm not crapping on McDermott for that. 99% of coaches don't win Super Bowls. I get that. But I also don't see them stay 8, 10, 12 years if they haven't. At some point, are you going to waste Josh's entire prime with McDermott if he can't get over the hump? Are you okay with that? Not trying something else?
Yeah. And I ran a poll last year. I was curious with Bills Mafia. I put how many more years?
Bills Mafia would have fired McDermott a few years back.
Oh, dude. And the vote was
after
almost unanimous.
Seconds, they would have McDermott.
Yeah. It's not, listen, we get where you're going. A lot of fans are like, oh, but if you get rid of him and look how done, look how great he's done while he's been here and we're a winning team. And now you got to find a coach that come in and do this, do better. Like, who's that magical I get all that. I get that, but you can't keep riding with the same results every year, bro. Like Josh Allen, you know how long it took for us to find Josh Allen? A long fucking time, guys. You don't want to waste away a guy that you've been searching for since fucking Chip Kelly retired. Yeah. Guys, be realistic, right? You don't want to go. And I'm not saying you can't get another quarterback in the draft and get lucky, but I'd rather get a new coach in here before taking that, gamble again on finding the quarterback when McDermott's still here.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say that, we don't make a mistake and let McDermott go and we get someone who's crap,
Sure, it
because
could happen.
that's a gamble too. But are you going to just
Absolutely.
continue to do the same thing over and over, knowing he hasn't been able to get it done? That's
Exactly.
ultimately how I feel about it. And Spin, you can't blame Singletary on me. Singletary played on Thursday. You didn't talk to me until Saturday. So if you started Singletary over Connor, that's on you, brother.
That is true. That is true. I like Singletary though. Did Singletary play bad in that game?
I don't know. He
Okay.
said it because he said he's gonna blame me. But you can't. If you want to blame me on something I said on Saturday on my fantasy show, that's fine. But Singletary had already played, and that game was already locked in.
So just a heads up, in the Dolphin game, Dolphins are about to score 3 minutes, 30 seconds, so 3rd and goal at the 1. It's 22-12. I assume they're going to go, or is that the touchdown that put them up 12? What's the score right now, Mikey?
22.
I think okay, so never mind. I thought
Huntley
they
just ran for a touchdown.
I thought they had 12 points already. Okay, so forget it.
Yes, no, they just got it.
Yeah, never mind. Because I was going to say, if they had 12, go for 2. Now you're down 22-18.
Yeah. The thing is, McDermott's an established enough coach to not be on the hot seat.
Or
Everyone
22-20.
thinks he's on. There's that couple of elite guys that you'll never get. The fan base thinks that they get. Yeah, listen, McDermott's not going anywhere. McDermott's going to be here to open the new stadium. Tommy called it a few years ago. He's not going anywhere. The Pagulas love him. We're a playoff contender every year. It could be we could have a whole lot worse, and we've had a whole lot worse within Bills Mafia.
Yeah,
through the years.
You know what it is for me, Mikey, and I think there's a lot of Bills Mafia out there. It's all about they're afraid to make a change because they don't want to, God forbid, go back to the drought years. And right now, they're putting butts in the seat. We're winning. We're still a winning team, right? We're there's still hype around the Buffalo Bills. So they are afraid to change because they don't want, I think right now, the Pagulas, at least in my mind, they're okay with the results at the end of the year, regardless. Of course, they want a Super Bowl. Exactly. I know they want a Super Bowl, but at the end of the day, they're not they're going, you know what? Hey, we're still a winning team.
Well, here's the
deal.
I
think a lot of Bills Mafia is they're accepting that because they're like, hey, at least we made the playoffs. And I don't want to be that fan. You know what I mean? Because I remember back in the day having arguments with people hey, at least we went to the Super Bowl. I don't want to be that guy because we didn't win one. I hate that argument of when fans well, at least my team made. Yeah, what did you do? Oh, you got bounced out in the division round. Wow.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest here.
Yeah,
McDermott would be on the street for all of one day before he got another job.
No, I'm with you. I get that. If I'm building a team tomorrow, let's say I'm a fresh team, we have problems going on.
I don't think it's just that. I think a productive team would want him. A good team would want him.
Yeah, maybe. But I'm just saying, if I'm building a team from the scratch, and I'm just saying, I really need to trust in the guy that can get the young players, get the locker room right. We've had dysfunction going on. He is the guy. I no doubt about it. He could turn a team around. He can get the right guys in there. But the problem is, like I said, though, how there's been a lot of coaches that could do that, but they can't win the big game. They can't get to the big dance. We've gone down this list before, guys. It happens in many sports, basketball, football. There's a ton of great coaches that never won a Super Bowl or NBA finals because they just, for some reason, they hit a wall.
We live in the Chiefs era. Someone said that a minute ago in here.
It is true. It is true.
Chris, listen, unfortunately, we live in the Chiefs era.
Yeah.
Just like the Colts lived in the Patriots era. Now they got over them. And even Nick Wright admits, at some point, Josh is going to get Pat in the playoffs. He's not always going to lose to him. It's going to happen one of these days. Right now, we live in the Chiefs era.
Absolutely. And I said that today too, by the way, and that's a great point you made. I'm like, dude, all these fan bases, including ours, can brag about winning and going to playoffs and doing this and beating your team. But at the end of the day, y'all want to know the real fucking truth? We ain't shit because the fucking Kansas City Chiefs are what is running
Don't
the
sleep.
AFC and what's running the NFL. So until you can fucking prove that you could beat that team, none of us should be on this high horse talking anything
Right?
because you haven't done jack shit. And that is the fucking truth. So stop with that because until you prove it, it don't mean nothing. It means nothing because the final result for every team out there, Mikey, and it should be for every player,
Mhm.
is winning a fucking championship.
Yeah.
That is when you can finally go, you know what? My team did it. Then
We're the best.
you have the right to fucking gloat a little bit. Then you have the right to go, we are that team.
Yeah.
Until then, the Chiefs are, and shut the fuck up and stay in your lane.
As much as I hate Nick Wright, and I do, I absolutely hate him with all my being.
Right.
He calls it the Arrowhead Invitational because for the last 6 years, you know, the Chiefs have gone. Outside of that one fluke year where Patrick Mahomes played his worst half of football in his career against Cincinnati when they went. But then Cincinnati lost to the Rams. So at the end of the day, it's been the Chiefs or the NFC that's won. So
absolutely right. Weston, I'm a humble Chiefs fan. I don't like to rub it in into other fan bases because we get beat any given game. And I'm glad that you're humble. And there's not a lot.
It's why I enjoy Weston being on our shows. Will last night, the Ravens fan, Will last night.
Will was
he comes in and says, at the end of the day, this was a great win for us, but doesn't mean shit until one of us can knock off the Chiefs.
Right. What does it truly mean? It's a fucking regular season week 4 game.
Win
means absolutely nothing. Now,
it could mean tiebreaker. It could mean tiebreaker.
I'll say this though. I don't mind it if it's in the same division a little bit of because you have your rivalries, right? Because you're in the same division. I kind of get that. You know, Jets fans getting a little excited when you beat Buffalo or Dolphin. You know, I can buy into that a little bit, but we're like, when a team that's not in your division or even in the NFC, it's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, we're not even in the. What are you bragging about here? We play you once every 3 years. Calm down, bro. Like, what have you done? So yeah, it's just crazy, man. Be humble. That's all I gotta say, people. Right. Be humble, man. Any given Sunday. Anyway, is that it for the night, Mikey?
we went an hour 30 on this fine Monday night. We appreciate you all in the chat. This doesn't happen without all you guys. Yeah,
absolutely.
We as much as I he's ruining my 40s like Brady ruined my 20s and 30s. Mahomes is an elite player. You know, the Mahomes Reed combo, and then the Chris Jones Spagnuolo combo is just elite. Because I don't think the Chiefs win if they don't have the Chris Jones, because he wrecks the game on the defense side and closes it out for him.
Yeah.
Or finds a way to get the ball back to Mahomes.
I agree. I think they got us. They got something special over there. Yeah. There's no doubt about it. You can't.
They got that magic sauce.
Yeah, you can't deny it. They
need to throw it over the wall and let us have a little bit of that magic sauce.
Yeah. They just got all the right pieces in all the right places. Put it that way. And right now, like we have pieces. They're just not all in the right places. I guess, does that make sense? Right? That kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah. So, we just haven't figured out how to cook that dish yet.
Right,
we got all the ingredients. Just got to figure out how to put the dish together.
Yeah. It's not coming out too good. Gordon Ramsay wouldn't be too proud of our dish.
Not this week. Not this week. We burnt that shit. We use sweetened milk rather than condensed milk. We just jack that bad boy up.
Oh, look at this. Ooh, they're not out of it yet, Mikey. Those are rare, by the way, and especially on the new kickoff rule. Oh no, that's right. They change it on the kick. Oh, have they?
Yeah, you have to announce that you're going to do it.
Yeah, and it has to be in the fourth quarter under 5 minutes or something like that.
Yeah,
or 2
and
minutes.
You have to announce that you're going to do it.
Yeah. So, hey, well then, to be honest,
that will be a good one. The Bengals
Ravens
will be a good one.
They have to score a touchdown, 2-point conversion to make it 24-20. Do another onside kick and get another touchdown to win the game. So a lot has to happen right now for the Miami Dolphins, and I don't know if it's gonna.
I don't know if you go for 2 points. You just take the extra point.
Okay.
because you're down 14.
You're right. It wouldn't make sense. You're right.
And
Because-
8-3 gives you
No,
you're
you're right. It
down,
wouldn't
you're
even make
down
sense.
12, so you would only get 11. So you might as well just kick the extra point. You need.
You're right.
touchdowns
It wouldn't even
regardless.
make sense. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. You're absolutely right. So you might, but either way, you would still be down. You still need a touchdown, regardless. You need 2 touchdowns right now.
Oh,
win the
looks like did they not get it? Was it
Oh, they
outside
didn't
the
give it to
landing
him,
zone?
guys? I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm not
I
paying
don't know.
attention.
We will pay
I'm watching
attention
the
once
other
we get
game.
Yep. So, guys, anyways, man, me and Mikey out of here, man. I hope you guys, by the way, we call this show now, because we always have podcast names, Bill's Monday Night Nightcap, because we're always on late on Monday night. So we like the name. I hope you guys like the name of the new podcast. Friday Night Lights, though, that's the place to be. Friday nights at 9 o'clock. That's when me and Mikey will return on Mafia Sports Report. So check us out. Tuesday, tomorrow, should be wrestling. Nuclear Heat Wave, I believe. Wednesday is Mafia Talk at 8 p.m. You want to turn into Jay and because Thursday is Mafia Means Family podcast, and Friday obviously is us. Saturday, Fantasy Kingdom, and AFC East Shakedown. So every day we have something going on. If it's not live, there's a video being posted on Mafia Sports Report. So if you're new to the channel, once again, or you're watching us on Twitter/X, come to YouTube, subscribe to Mafia Sports Report, because we're not always on Twitter. So do us that favor, man. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Any last words, Mikey?
K9 touchdown.
K9 touchdown.
Yeah. Seattle just scored the touchdown to pull it within 7.
Oh shit. Okay.
So
And
that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
35-27 with a lot of time left.
Yeah,
too.
that's a good one. My last is thank you everyone in the chat. This helps with my mental health. When we do lose, it was just one game. I'll be excited to see what we look like against Houston Sunday at 1 p.m.
Yeah, we'll bounce back. Guys. So we appreciate you guys once again rocking with us. And until next time, Bills Mafia, we love you. And as always, go Bills. We're out of here. Peace.
Go Bills.
Ah.